Tanil, thank you for joining me today.
Pleasure.
As you can see, we are in the first team changing room at the Lamex Stadium, the home of Stevenage Football Club. And today I'm going to be speaking with Tanil Sailk, one of our fantastic under-18 players, about Ramadan and what that means to him. So the first question I wanted to ask you was, as an aspiring footballer who is a follower of Islam, what challenges have you faced?
I guess praying 5 times a day when I was younger, it's an obligation for me, and I'd be a bit shy. Of course, when you're playing football, a kid go through a prayer time, and it's sort of after the game, I was quite shy to ask, can I pray or can I use this room? As I've gotten older, I've picked up that sort of habit to ask, and of course, everyone's going to say yes, and I've overcome that barrier. And yeah, I think that would be the main sort of barrier which I face and one I've overcome.
Brilliant. I love to hear that. And kind of on that subject, the club, I understand, have given you a prayer room for you to utilise while you're training on match days. What changes has that made for you and your observation of your religion?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like, I don't have to stress about having to ask. I sort of just go in and pray.
Yeah,
And it's sort of a time because football is very hectic, very, very busy as well. And times after training where my head could be quite all over the place, get to come inside the room, pray, and sort of bring my self back to reality and just be at peace.
I love that. And, you know, as for those who don't know, the word Islam does mean peace. So that's a really, really great tie in there. So your religion brings you peace in moments where you might be feeling hectic and you need to calm down. So it really, really centers you just to have a place where you can go and, you know, observe your religion in the best way for you to do so. That's brilliant. Another thing I wanted to ask you was, how has you being a follower of Islam, how has the perception changed over the years? Maybe from when you felt, you know, you were younger and you maybe didn't want to ask these questions. Do you feel people were more open and more receptive?
Yeah, I never realised how open everyone was. So I'm part of the PFA Aims program, and
Incredible.
along that it supports pays over Islamic faith, and it's really introduced me to once again asking questions. It's helped educate coaches, staff, and of course they come in for meetings with them, and it helps educate them. So at times I didn't have to ask. For example, Grace, my well-being officer,
Yeah,
she'll come to me and ask, "Oh, have you prayed?" or "Do
yeah.
you need to use a room?" And she was open to me. I can go and talk to her about anything. And yeah, it's amazing.
And what difference does it make to you to have, you know, coaches and members of staff who are so accommodating to you and your religion?
It's, I guess I'd have to stress about things. I put my full focus on football. I'd have to worry about, oh, I've got to ask this question, or can I use a prayer room, or this and that. And yeah, I guess it brings me to peace, like I said before.
That's incredible. That's amazing. It's, you know, it's great that religion can do, you know, so much for so many people. And, you know, we've got, you know, you here as an example to show, you know, so many people the way that you can still observe your religion and be a professional footballer.
Yeah.
And kind of on that topic, obviously we've got Ramadan
Yeah.
coming up, an incredibly important month for yourself and obviously all followers of Islam. What challenges or what differences or adjustments have you maybe had to make during that month of the year that you maybe didn't have to consider in the other 11 months in regards to maybe training and nutrition? Because obviously you can only eat at sundown.
Yeah.
So how does this affect you and your performance, or does it affect your performance?
I think nutrition's the biggest thing. Knowing the times to eat, how much to eat, and what to eat. But I've spoken with my SNC Jack, and he's always supported me through it. And he's kind of advised me what to eat at specific times as well. So when we break our fast, we've got like maybe an hour or so, and then there's a night prayer called Tarawih, and we
Okay.
go to that, and that can last maybe 2 hours.
Wow.
So I guess I'll come and sleep after that, but after that I'll probably eat another meal, and then
Yes,
obviously go sleep. And yeah, once again, when it comes to sleep, that's another big factor.
of course.
Having to wake up in the middle of the night sort of to eat suhoor, and that's the Arabic name for the midnight sort of
Yes.
breaking a fast and everything. So I think that's something which is really important, and again, that's sort of like my breakfast, and I use that to fuel me for the rest of the day that's upcoming.
Perfect. So you mentioned recovery there in terms of sleep. Does that change? Does your schedule change? Because obviously you said you have to make adjustments to wake
Yeah.
up in the night and eat. How does that affect your recovery and your training as well?
At times I can feel quite tired. So like last season, there there was one day when I came in and I was quite tired. Of course, the coaches accommodate me and they'll talk to me and say, "Oh, we'll go a bit easier on training." But yeah, definitely having a nap throughout the day. So around midday, maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I just half an hour up to an hour, and yeah, that really helps.
Perfect. Just helps you to recharge,
Yeah,
re-energize, and gets you where you need to be physically.
yeah, 100%, yeah.
Brilliant. One of the last questions I wanted to ask you, and I think this is one of the most important ones. Not that any of the others haven't been, but what advice would you give, knowing your own experience and maybe any trials and tribulations you face? What advice would you give to younger players who are coming through academies, who are in grassroots football, who are followers of Islam?
Uh, Tell them to be open and not be shy. Of course, when I was younger, I was quite shy and didn't ask questions and asked to access specific things which are required on me as a Muslim. So yeah, definitely be confident. For them, they should know that their coaches will understand things, and yeah, not to be shy once again, like I said, and also to build that relationship with their coach. Just about a memory that came to me now. We had Plymouth away last season,
Yeah.
and at the time I coached Ronnie Henry, so I was fasting during then, and of course I've got to wake up in the middle of the night to sort of get that energy again to sort of eat my morning meal.
Yeah.
And he woke up with me. He didn't have to. This was 3 in the morning, and yeah, I was waiting in the hotel lobby. He said to me, "To know I'm going to wake up with you. I'm going to be there with you when you're eating." And yeah, he did. He followed through, and yeah, it was just an amazing moment and something where I built a good relationship with him.
Yeah, and you telling that, I saw the smile on your face, and the smile
Yeah,
came up on my face as well, because ultimately, what you mentioned a few minutes ago about that education and people doing that learning, that's ultimately what has kind of led Ronnie to take that step and go, you know what, Tanil, I'm going to get up with you. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night, not in the morning, sorry, wake up at 3 a.m. and come and have this meal with you. And you having and feeling that level of support, from Grace, from Ronnie, from various members of the team, teammates too, it goes a long way to this feeling of comfort that you have and you being able to really be the real Tanil. And that's exactly what we want. We want everybody to come here and be exactly who they are. So thank you very,
definitely.
very much.
Thank you.